Dodgers shortstop Miguel Rojas joins the show. We're diving into the latest Dodgers news and rumors. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
Dodgers win!
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball.
Grand slam!
It's a double for Freddie.
Mookie magic!
They're going to make big signings. They're going to make impact trades. This is the most anticipated season in Dodgers history.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020!
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. Everything you need to know about your boys in blue in less than an hour. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Now, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel in the game, the #1 podcast here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button. And without further ado, we got a special guest today, Dodgers shortstop. He owns his own record label, the MR label. He has the best shoe game in the show. Miguel Rojas, thank you so much for joining us here on Dodgers Dugout Live, my man.
Oh, it's always a pleasure talking to you guys, and I know I'm talking to a lot of fans throughout this outlet. Thank you for having me today, and it's nice to talk a little bit about baseball during the break.
Yeah, and how have you spent your break? Are you checking on the label, relaxing with the family in Miami? How's your break been so far?
Yeah, so I came to Miami, so I need to check out on the house and my home, you know, and being with the kids out here. Even though they're being in LA throughout the summer with me, and they travel on the latest family trip a couple weeks ago. It was nice to have Aaron over there and enjoy kind of the whole Dodger season. It's always nice to have him around. And I just came to Miami, brought some friends, brought my sister from Venezuela. Like you say, I'm checking out on the progress on the label, how the artists are doing. And I think this is a little downtime for me to think about anything else other than the season, because we all know we have unfinished business. We need to take care of it the second half, and the job is not done.
Absolutely. We love to hear that's exactly what we want to hear. You have passed the halfway point of the season. You're down to the home stretch. And yes, no Dodger baseball this week, but we did have some Dodgers playing baseball. Ohtani hits a home run in the All-Star game. But I want to go back to Teoscar Hernandez winning the home run derby. One, how happy were you for Teoscar? Did the group chat blow up? Did you reach out and congratulate him? Just what was your reaction to Teoscar Hernandez being the first Dodger to win the home run derby?
Yeah, it's really happy for Teoscar and the way that he represents the whole team and the whole organization. I got a special mention to Tyler Glasnow. I called Tyler Glasnow the MVP of the night. He was with Theo the whole night, and I mean right next to him throughout every round, every timeout, and it was really nice to see it, because I know how hard it is to stay up late with the kids and the whole family. And I never been an all-star, but I can really tell like how hard it is to stay that late when, you know, you're supposed to be having a break. You know, like a lot of people were talking about like where the rest of the guys. They got to understand that they have families and they have a bunch of people there. But Tyler Glasnow was right next to Theo for the whole rounds, and it was really nice to see. Going back to Theo, knowing that the guy wanted to do it since early June. He was talking about with our team social media and our team members of the media. They were talking about Theo being in the All-Star, and not just an All-Star, but representing us in the home run derby, and being able to see him and Dino share that moment. It was really special to watch from where I was. And obviously, yeah, everybody in the group chat were like so proud of Theo and happy for him that he finally got one for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, you love that. I wonder what he gets Dino Ebel, because Dino Ebel, he was throwing darts at perfect levels all night long. Got to give him a lot of credit. I love how you bring up Glasnow, though, the perfect wingman. He was right there in his corner. And I really wanted to transition there to really the chemistry of this team, because I've been in that clubhouse. I see how you guys are so professional, the way you interact with each other. You know that the standard for this organization, the expectations this year are to win a World Series, but the way you go about it every single day in that clubhouse, how would you describe the chemistry chemistry on this year's Dodgers team, the 2024 Dodgers, compared to all the way back in 2014 when you started with this organization? How would you describe that dynamic?
Yeah, it's definitely different. When I got to the big leagues, I was in a different kind of environment. I was trying to just do what I need to do to make a name for myself, to trying to stay in the league. Now it's a little bit different. I enjoy a little bit more of welcoming the new guys who are getting to the organization, kind of make them feel good. Talking about their like rookies like Miguel Vargas, Andy Baez, Robleski, and trying to give him some knowledge, and at the same time trying to tell them that it's not as hard as you think it is in a clubhouse full of veterans and full of stars. Not just all stars. I'm thinking like we're playing right next to 3 or 4 guys that are gonna end up in the Hall of Fame, and it's really hard to be yourself when you're in a clubhouse like this. But when you hear about all that, you gotta remember we got a guy like Kike, we got a guy on Teo, on guys who like to keep things a little bit lighter, and so that's make I think a pretty good balance. And you've seen it yourself when we're in the clubhouse or trying to get our job done is really serious. But there's times where this group really get loose, plane rides, bus rides. We go to team dinners together, and it's really fun to be around all these guys because we can really tell and see the personality of each one. And going back to the new guys on this team, they're really fitting in and they want to be here. It's really nice to see a guy on Teo that already expressed that he wants to be here. He feels comfortable here. Glasnow playing on his own hometown, pitching really well and throwing a bunch of innings in the first half. He's never done that. It's really hard to believe that he was never an all-star before this year just because he get hurt or don't pitch that much. But now that he's pitching take a lot of innings on us, we don't take that for granted, and we really appreciate what he's been doing for the team.
Yeah, and you look at the team, superstars like you mentioned, future Hall of Famers, all-stars, established veterans, high-character rookies. But you have Teo, you have Kike for a full season, you have Ohtani. Would you say this is the best chemistry that you've seen in a clubhouse for your entire career?
Well, the thing is, we still have a half season to play, and we still have some time to kind of go through the up and downs of the season and see where this team is going to take us. But definitely the character is there. We have a lot of guys with a lot of different personalities, and knowing that every single day we're going to the ballpark and we enjoy each other. I would put this team on the top. For me, especially like going in spring training, knowing that there were a lot of changes and in our roster. Yeah, we missed some guys from last year, but you receive like a bunch of new guys that are really cool to be around too. You get to know them, you get to experience a lot of things. And I mean, everybody knows this season is being a little bit more entertained, I gotta say, with Shohei in the clubhouse, going to Korea early. All that creates a little bit of bond within this team that is going to be part of whatever this team is going to take us.
And are we still doing the tequila shots to celebrate those series wins? Are there any new traditions this year?
Yeah, there's some things that they're not going to change. And if they're going to change, it's going to take a little while. I think the celebration that you guys see on the bases always come out of something that happens during the year. Or, we decided to bring the Freddie dance in second base because I think that's part of who we are now, just because, we all see Freddie on the daily basis, posting for our team, playing first base and getting his at-bats, and he don't talk much or do anything like extra on the field other than playing baseball. But I think that dance and, that kind of is part of our culture and what we're doing off the field. And we follow Freddie. Freddie goes, we go, and that's kind of what we do when we hit doubles. Same thing with the tequila shots after winning a series. I think it's really important to keep the head in the moment, and knowing that every series that you win is a big step towards what we want to accomplish. And it's not because of the shot; it's because of talking amongst each other, and recognizing people who did something really good. And if we got to go to the negative, we got a space there for us to go to the negative so we can get better. So situations in between the clubhouse and the guys, and everybody's being involved, and that's what like the really good thing is.
I love that. Tequila shots. We'll see some champagne later in October at some point, celebrations. I think what a lot of fans want to know about this team, a lot of strong personalities, a lot of elite players, all-stars, Hall of Famers. But is there a vocal leader to this team? And do you think that's important for a club like you guys that have so many established veterans, so many professionals that know how to go about winning in this league?
Yeah, I think the main vocal guy is Dave Roberts. We have our manager that he's gonna find his way to kind of get to everybody, and sometimes he gotta go to someone to help him in certain situations, and he's really good like managing that, like if he wants to go to someone, he probably go through me. He probably gonna go through Mookie. He's gonna go through Clayton Kershaw. So he's using his whole personnel. I think in a team that wants to win a championship, and I never been part of one, but I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be just one vocal guy, that everybody's going to be waiting for that guy to say something so they can actually get themselves fired up. I think it's got to be like a group work where everybody kind of do their part. And at the end of the day, if I have to say something, I feel like I need to take the time to like make everybody understand where I'm coming from, and I'm not just talking loud out of my ass, like I want to know, I want them to know that I'm like, if I'm going to say something, they can listen to me, or they can listen to Freddie, or they can listen to Mookie or Kike, or I mean, regardless, you never know where a good mindset or a good positive thing can come from. And I think that's why this group is so like special and professional and mature.
I love to hear that. All the great teams, it seems like there's multiple leaders, lots of guys that can have that impact on any of their teammates. Now, as far as defense goes, now a lot of people ask me, what's it like to see Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts take BP? I always say it's great, but it's equally as great to watch Miguel Rojas take infield and prepare before a game. The way you play that position, you make it look so easy, even though it's so hard. And you look at every single metric. You can look at old school stats, errors, fielding percentage, 1,000%, 0 errors. You can look at DRS, UZR, outs above average, the advanced stuff, the advanced metrics. Every single thing points to you being an elite shortstop, even at this stage of your career, when a lot of players will transition to another position. One thing I would ask is, how have you been able to maintain that excellence defensively, even after playing that position so many years, and you're 35 now?
Yeah, I think it's because I do it through work ethic. I come to the ballpark every single day, and I found a routine a few years ago that kind of check all the boxes that I need to be a good shortstop, and taking pride of being a shortstop first. For me, if I stop doing that and the team is not looking at me as a primary shortstop, I'm probably gonna miss a little bit of time on the field. So for me, it's like taking a lot of pride of playing shortstop. I like to play the position, and that's the position that I always want to play. Obviously, early in the year, Mookie was the one like getting all like majority of the reps, majority of the games, even though he was moving to second base, and that's something that is not really easy to do if you're not used to do that. Bouncing back and forward from short to second, and that's why we saw Mookie a lot playing short. Lately, when he was playing the position, and it's completely understanding. But for me, it's like that fire, and that like what drives me to come to the field every single day is to play shortstop and be an everyday shortstop. So I think that's the reason why I continue to play in an elite level defensively, because I take a lot of pride of like how the organization is going to view me. And I don't want them to look at me as a utility guy or a backup player. I want them to know that they have a shortstop sitting on the bench, and then if they need it, they want to put me in. And obviously the offensive part is being there this year, and I'm glad that I make them feel comfortable that I can fill in and just hold it until Mookie's back.
Yeah, as they say, if you can play shortstop, you can play anywhere, right? And the way you play that position, you can just feel the passion, the joy you play that position with. But has there been anything that's changed with your routine as far as just meeting the physical demands of such a demanding position throughout the years that's been able to help you sustain that level of high-level play?
Yeah, I mean, working a little bit of working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Trying to do a little bit less on the reps. actually on the field when I'm like fielding ground balls are short off the bat. I'm trying to like be precise when I do it and how many reps I do it because I mean obviously I'm 35 years old now, and when you're in your mid 30s, your mind is racing and your mind is telling you you can do so many things, but at the same time you gotta listen to your body. And I'm kind of like understanding a little bit more how that term works because a lot of people told me in the past you got to listen to your body, but I never knew how. Now I understand a little bit better, and I kind of have to like look myself in the mirror and ask for help. I asked the trainers to help me. I asked the strength coaches help me in the capacity of like tell me what is my average speed. I'm like, what did I lose? Did I lose something from 2019 to now? So now I know my average sprint speed is a little bit lower. So I have to tell my mind, no, you can't really go after that back, or you can really go that hard because your body's not going to respond the same. So I feel like I'm kind of understanding a little bit of the terms of like listening to my body instead of listening always to my head, because my head is telling me to go, but I sometimes I gotta kind of like listen to my body and ask my body what I need to do.
Yeah, I always find it fascinating to watch you working with Dino Ebel on the grass before you can get to the dirt with all that isolated mobility, the movement prep, all those things that kind of go into it to working on your instincts and everything that goes into it. So you make it look easy, and you've impressed Dodgers fans and also your coach, Dave Roberts, your manager. He said recently he was asked if you would consider keeping you at shortstop when Mookie Betts returns. Doc said, I would. I don't think anyone can debate the level of shortstop play from Miguel Rojas. Now, I know you're someone that's going to embrace any role that this team has for you, but just what's your reaction to Dave's comments there?
Oh, definitely. When he first told me, before he said it to the media, he told me that personally. So, which is something that it's really nice to hear from your manager and from a guy that I consider my friend now. It's not just like a guy who's making the decisions that I need to like listen to him. It's just like I really take into consideration what he has to say about me and what I need to do to get better. So I mean, listening to him and knowing that he's watching me day in day out for the last 2 years is being really nice to count on him and know that he got my back and know that he's happy with the way that I'm playing the games, which is something nice to have as a player. But at the end of the day, what my rock is gonna be continue to work on with Dino, like you say, early in the afternoons, do my isolated stuff first, and then go to the field. So I think that's gonna provide my excellence of playing when I'm starting the game.
And of course, you've been plugged into that position after Mookie Betts. He went down with the injury. And you look at Mookie Betts, someone who is a multi-time, 6-time Gold Glover out and right, one of the best right fielders ever. Last year, he comes in, he plays shortstop at the big league level for the first time since 2012. I looked it up. He hadn't played shortstop professionally since Low A Lowell when he was on the Spinners versus the Auburn Double Days back in 2012. He plays in 13 games last year, and then this year he's playing that position. He's improving every single game. How impressed are you just by Mookie taking on that challenge, and how much improvement did you see from him up until he got injured?
Yeah, just to see a guy with the level of experience and everything that he had accomplished in the game is pretty impressive. To have a teammate like him that he's gonna do whatever it takes to make the team better. At the beginning when he was asked to play shortstop, he would never say, "No, I can't do it. I'm Mookie Betts. I'm gonna stay where I feel comfortable." And whatever happens. Go and find a guy or play anybody else there. So that kind of shows me the kind of person that he is, and all he cares about is winning a championship and winning another one and winning another one. So and you do that a couple ways. You play every single day and you post every day, and you're not gonna be out of the lineup for any particular reason. And the other thing is like being able to adjust to different things. But shortstop is not an easy one. When you haven't played the position kind of your whole life and you got limited time there when you was in the minors or little league or whatever it is, it's not the same that playing in the big leagues every single day. It takes a little bit of courage to do that and to prepare to be a shortstop. He was working extremely hard, and that sometimes is going to affect you other areas. And I think the way that he was handling, it was the best way. He was working hard. He was preparing his body. And I think what happens to him was like, unfortunately, but at the same time, he's going to have some rest and he's going to be ready to go when we need it the most at the highest level. So I'm so proud of Mookie and what he did for the team and the way that he played short the whole time.
And have you seen him take any infield, any work at shortstop? And how hard do you think that would be to miss 6 weeks and come back and plug yourself right into being a defensive shortstop? Do you think that could be a big time challenge for him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be difficult because he have never done it and he have never been on the IL regardless, like this long his whole career. But he's been working on it. He's been, the injury was on the left end, so he's been throwing from short. I'm seeing it like taking some reps at shortstop, not catching the ball, obviously, but throwing from there, throwing from second base, doing some double plays, kind of mental reps, throwing the ball. So I think he's going to be fine. He's just like a pure athlete. And we all know, things can go really well right away or things can go back and you're actually going to pick it up. It's how baseball works. And obviously we miss him a lot and we just want him back in the lineup wherever it is.
Yeah, and you look at your spot in the lineup since you've taken over at shortstop, 38 games, hitting .328, slugging .500, 2 home runs, 14 doubles. You played shortstop at an all-star level, offensively and defensively this season. What has been the biggest key to your success at the plate this year, and what do you got to do to continue to sustain that for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I gotta keep myself healthy and stay on top of my my health. I think if my body feels good, I think I'm capable of doing it. That's gonna be the challenge. The challenge for me is gonna be this month of whatever is left for July, August, and September. See how I can actually keep myself like together on the healthy side. Because I think if I'm healthy, I'm able to do these things. Because this shows that I can still hit. I can still like continue to go and provide a team with a good defender and a guy who can do some stuff offensively. I think that's what I will attribute my good offensive season because I've been healthy. I haven't been like dealing with stuff on my wrists or my shoulders or my lower body. I think that's one of the things. And I can go on a list of like things that I changed for me to be this good, but I don't know what it is exactly. I just feel like I'm healthy and I'm doing the right thing.
And that seems to be the narrative that's out there, that the more times that someone plays shortstop, that he's going to wear down, that the offensive numbers will take a decline. What do you say to that narrative? Do you think that this is something that you're going to be able to maintain while being a full-time shortstop for the rest of the way and of the postseason if they give you that opportunity to take over that position?
It's definitely real.
Yeah.
If you're tired and you're like your legs are not firing and you're taking so many ground balls and you're kind of like running all over the place, or you're diving and you're like tweaking something on your arms or whatever, it's the hitting part is gonna take the toll. So that's why it's so hard, and that's why the premium positions get a lot of money in the big leagues. Catchers start getting hit every single time, or catchers need to block the ball. That's why their offense numbers are kind of lower than other like sluggers. That's why middle infielders are getting paid so much money, just because the toll of playing shortstop every single day. Center field is crashing against the wall, diving for balls, throwing more than anybody else. That's why it's so hard to play these positions. And for me, it's just about like doing my diligence, trying to like continue to do my work on the weight room and on the training room, ask for help, like not being afraid of like going to the training room every day to do my stretches, to do my yoga, to do my Pilates, all the stuff that I'm doing this year. It takes a little bit extra sacrifice, extra time, but I'm doing it just because I want to play in the highest level and I want to win a championship.
So you do have to grind it out. So there is a world where it kind of does bleed into your offense the more you play that position, just because, like you said, it's so demanding. There's like 12 guys on the planet that can play above offense, shortstop, and above offense defense at that position. So that's why it's such a premium spot, as you mentioned. Would your preference be to remain at shortstop, though?
Yeah, for Miguel Rojas, it is, because that's what I enjoy playing, and I really consider myself a shortstop. I consider myself not just a regular shortstop. I think I can be above average defensively and I can be average offensively, and that's a really good shortstop for you. So I mean, doubts are going to be there. This is not going to be the first time hearing oh, no, he's going to fall down or he's not going to continue to hit like that. How are you going to sustain that if you've never been that kind of hitter? I don't care. Like I've been my whole career being doubted by a lot of people that I'm not going to hit. You're not going to play in the big leagues. You're not going to do this. We're gonna find someone else. And if they do, great. I mean, we all trying to get the team better. And if shortstop is the position to go, I mean that would be great for us. There's gonna be other positions for me to play. Like I'm gonna face good matchups and I'm gonna face these left-handed pitchers. But if my name is called to play everyday shortstop, I'm ready. Like I'm not afraid. I'm not scared of the moment or the situation. I just want to play. And if it's my name playing shortstop, I'm gonna give the team the best, my best. And Miguel Rojas can do it for a contending team.
Love to hear that. And I think you got to have that edge, right? When you get to the part of your career where you're in the league for more than 10 years, you just got to keep finding ways to motivate you. And clearly you've done that and you've done it at an incredibly high level. Now, I'm pretty sure you don't do a podcast appearance or radio show appearance without being asked about Shohei Ohtani. And I'm going to ask you a little about Shohei Ohtani, the biggest star in the sport right now. One, what's it been like to just be around him in the clubhouse, and just what do fans see that he's like just around his teammates? I mean, he's this larger than life figure, but I mean, is he one of the guys when he's around you?
The thing is, like, it's so hard for me to like looking at him as an external, like as a fan or something like that, because I'm seeing Shohei Ohtani as my teammate right now. I need some from him. He needs some from me for this team to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that knowing that we're going to have 5 at-bats of Shohei Ohtani every single day put us in a really good position. And obviously, I'm enjoying every single time that he walks to the plate, because he's one swing away of putting a ball 480 feet, and putting us ahead like by 3 runs. Because that's the like capacity that this guy has every single time that he goes to the plate. Or he can actually walk, steal second base, and then score in a hard hit. So he can be Shohei Ohtani, and that's why everybody loves him, right? And we haven't even seen the pitching side, and he's working really hard to come back next year and be the complete package that we all know we got, the team got. So it's really good. It's really fun. It's a privilege to be playing with him, but he's a normal human being that he's enjoying his time with his new teammates. I'm so happy to see him like smiling around the bases yesterday when he hit the home run. He was doing the celebration to the dugout, something that at the beginning of the year he probably wasn't like that loose. Now he seems to be enjoying the whole thing, and that's what you want from those guys, because they ask a lot of him when it comes to like MLB baseball worldwide, a lot of interviews, a lot of stuff, like he needs to take care of a lot of media, fans and all that. It's been remarkable the way that he's been kind of handling all that throughout the years and the up and downs that we know it happens.
Yeah, no, he's a rock star. He's the Beatles, Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley rolled into one on a baseball level. I'm sure you've had a lot of fanfare around him, and I think he does feel like he's more comfortable from the start of the season until now, just in that clubhouse. Have you noticed a big difference from the start of the season up until right now?
Yeah, it's a different kind of ways that he comes to the ballpark every single day, and knowing that everybody have personalities that he kind of like, now he knows a little bit of the personality. We see him in interviews telling that Kike is the most funny guy, and at the same time he will never like let Kike watch his kids or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's something that is really fun, because at the beginning of the year you ask him that and he have no clue who he's playing with. So now that we have a half year under our belt, he got a pretty good understanding of who he's playing with, who's the guy, who's this guy, who's that guy, and he's being more kind of open to a lot of us, and it's really nice to see, because he's the biggest star of the game, and I already proclaiming the GOAT of baseball, because it's really hard to see what he's doing day in, day out on any other player.
Absolutely. Biggest star in the sport. You mentioned next year he's going to be pitching. Next year, the Dodgers, they have a club option for you. You know they're going to pick that up. Question I have for you, though, is how much longer do you see yourself playing in the show, and would you like to retire as a Dodger?
Yeah, definitely. I would like to retire as a Dodger. And another thing that I want to do is staying as a coach with the team after I'm done playing. So that's something that I'm kind of like putting together. I don't know how much longer I can play for. I will never deny myself playing baseball if I'm playing on a highest level and I'm healthy. If I'm healthy and I'm playing in a highest level shortstop, I will never cut myself short on like how many more years I'm gonna play. I want to play at least 2 more years, and hopefully and obviously I want to play for the Dodgers and I want to finish my career here. But you know how it is. Like, you have to continue to improve and you have to continue to prove that you're valuable for an organization, especially with the high standards that the Dodgers have. But I'm planning on keeping myself on that standards, and hopefully after my career is over, I can stay as a coach because I want to stay in the game, and my goal is to manage one day. And let's see where my career goes after I'm done playing baseball.
I love that. That's a couple World Series titles away, so don't have to worry about that right now. Pretty sure you'll have more ejections than errors, though. That's for sure. And hopefully you can get that job before you get the robo umps. Actually, that's going to be here soon, so we'll see how that plays. Now, as far as this team, you had great time in Miami. You're the captain there, established roots, started the label. We know how much you love the 305. But you come back to where it all started, in LA. What would it mean to you to win a World Series with this franchise and with this group?
No, it will mean everything. And I think that's something. And the only thing for me, especially when I dream about stuff, I dream myself about being a big leaguer. I dream about being an everyday shortstop. I dream about winning a Gold Glove. I've been close to do that. I dream about like being in the playoff, and I dream about winning a World Series. I think that's the last piece that Miguel Rojas need to like complete everything that I kind of like dream about. And obviously doing it with the Los Angeles Dodgers would be a great piece for me, because I started my career here. They gave me the opportunity to play in the big leagues, and now I'm not just playing in the big leagues. I'm being a big part of something that we want to do and we want to accomplish, and it would mean the world. And for sure, that's what we're working for.
Yeah, if it happens, when it happens, we know you're going to be a big reason why. Okay, we'll get you out of here on some rapid fire questions here, Miggy Rowe. Some rapid fire stuff. And we're going to start with, we want you to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 fire emojis the Dodgers all-star red carpet fits from yesterday. Okay. We know you love your fashion. We know you love your kicks. Got to start with Shohei Ohtani. He had the Hugo Boss suit with decoy inside the jacket. He was looking incredible. You had the decoy there. Pretty sure you didn't pay for it because, of course, he is sponsored by Boss over there. But 1 to 10 fire emojis. What do you give this one?
I will give it a 7, just because the color, I'm not big on the kind of maroon or brownish kind of color that it was. I know it goes great with the color of the dog, but for me, I'm gonna give Shohei a 7 on the fire emoji.
7. Wow, we got a tough grab. I was going to 10 fire emojis with the gas and a couple puppy emojis for that one. But next one, how about Teoscar Hernandez? Want to put Teoscar up there?
Yeah, Teo for sure. I mean, the whole family looking great, because he kind of mix and match with the kids and his wife. I'm gonna give Teo Nate, just above Shohei.
Just above Shohei. Okay, next, Freddie. I really like Freddie's fit. I feel like it was a little bit out of his comfort zone, what he normally wears. I love the shade. What are we giving Freddie? Scale of 1 to 10 fire emojis.
I'm not gonna give anybody a 10, but I'm gonna give Freddie a 9 because he's pretty close to a 10. It would be a 10 if he was the one picking up the whole thing. But he got his he's kind of like a person that put the fits together for him. I think he looks amazing. He looks really good on him. He was really excited about wearing the white pants and all that. And I feel like I'm going to give Freddie a 9.
Freddie a 9. Okay, how about Will Smith?
Willie, I didn't see Willie, actually. Like, I feel like I missed Willie outfit. I didn't see the
It was clean. It was a light, almost like a khaki suit, kind of getting some Banana Republic catalog vibes here. But had the Rollie, the Daytona looks like. He had a fresh fit. I think based on your grading, probably a 6 or a 7. Glass now the same.
I think I'm gonna put him on their Shohei. Gonna give him a 6.
Give him a 6. Okay. How about the cleats for Ellie De La Cruz? The Louis Vuitton, the Louis V pink Louis Jordan cleats. 1 to 10 fire emojis.
You gotta expect those to be really fire because he's a Jordan guy. So I rock the pink. That's kind of his color. I feel like they look clean, and he wear with a different color uniform because the uniform were like navy blue with a light blue, and I think the pink was amazing. I'm gonna give Ellie a number 10. A 10 out of 10 emojis.
10 out of 10. Hey, we know your cleat game is nice. By the way, can you promise us that you're going to get a cleated version of those Kobe's, the Kobe 6s when the Dodgers one come out? You already have them.
The Dodger ones.
Yeah. Because you did the Grinches.
I haven't get those, but I heard that I'm going to get a pair because they're talking with like Kobe's family and all that because the only ones who got that pair was the Nike guys, and I'm not a Nike guy, so I need to wait for them to kind of send me a pair with my on my size. But I'm gonna put some cleats on those for sure.
Awesome, love to hear that. Yeah, we need to get you a Jordan deal. We'll do the silhouette of Miggy Rowe making a throw to short. That could be your brand. That could be a logo right there. Okay, next one. I want to get your Mount Rushmore top 4 favorite shortstops. Your personal list, Mount Rushmore of Miggy Rowe's shortstops.
Okay, I will go Omar Vizquel number 1. Derek Jeter. Barry Larkin. And so last pack gotta be David Concepcion.
Love that list. Jeter sometimes gets a little disrespected, but we know how iconic he was. Omar Vizquel. I think that he gave you some advice at one point, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And he played for 25 years in the big leagues. Derek Jeter played 21 seasons. He played all games at shortstop. He's got to be there. Barry Larkin, I get to know him personally with the Reds. Obviously, Hall of Famer. Guy who played the position as an offensive guy, but a main and true shortstop. And David Concepcion from Venezuela, playing for the Big Red Machine, tall shortstop who can really play defense and from my country.
Love that list. Okay, last question I want to ask you. Do you remember who you got your first big league hit off of? What game and what pitcher?
Yeah, it was Matt Delayo, I think is his last name. It was in Colorado, and it was a tough fastball. It was middle away. I got up the middle, and I drive in a run, and I drove Jamie Roman, who just hit a double of it.
June 8th, 2014, the Dodgers 6-1 win over the Rockies. Single to center off Matt Belisle. Scored Jamie Romack. Great memory right there. Great memories you've given us as Dodgers fans. And we can't tell you enough how much we appreciate you here coming on Dodgers Dugout Live. We appreciate you joining us as always. And also can't wait to see what you do for the rest of the season and in the postseason. So thank you so much. Of course, you can follow Miguel Rojas on Instagram at Miggy's Locker. Fire content over there. But Miguel, enjoy the last couple of days of the break-in. We'll see you back in LA, my man.
Thank you, guys, and fans. I can't wait to see you guys on Friday. Thank you for everything that you guys been doing this year. And job is not finished. We gotta continue to do it. There we go. That's the mindset. That's the mentality. That is Miguel Rojas, Dodgers shortstop, and this team is locked in for a World Series title. And you felt that energy from him. So thank you so much, Miggy Rowe. But let me know down below in the comments section, what are your thoughts on Miguel Rojas and his comments? Lots of really, really interesting stuff. I mean, we're talking about one of the best defensive shortstop in baseball. And I like that he said, hey, I want to be the shortstop. I pride myself in being the shortstop. I want that role. And I think that is the mindset that any player at this level has to have. Yes, you want to be cordial and you want to be a great teammate. All those things are true, but all these guys got here for a reason. There's a little less than 800 players on active rosters in the 30 teams around the show, and they're all there because they have beaten the odds, that they have become statistical miracles to make it to this level, and to remain at this level, to make an all-star team, to sign big contracts, you have to think that you're the guy. So I think a lot of people will say the right thing, but I also think that
they know deep inside that, hey, I want to be the game one starter. I want to be the starting shortstop. That's my role. And I think that's why Miguel Rojas has been able to have the success that he's had this season, because like he said in the interview, he hears people out there saying, okay, maybe the offense is going to fall off. Maybe the production at the plate is going to dip. He doesn't see that as a negative. He sees that as fuel, as a positive that'll allow him to really say, you know what, I'm going to prove the doubters wrong. And yeah, the job's not finished. Like he said, the World Series title is this team's goal. And I think what he said in that interview that really stood out to me was with Mookie Betts and with where he's at in his recovery. And it's really tough to take 6 weeks off after you're learning a position at the first time, really as a full-time shortstop. Hadn't played shortstop since 2012 for the Spinners down for Lowell for the Boston Red Sox. And for him to be able to play that position at an average level, which what he was striving for, yes, he did make strides later in before the injury, but I think the best version of Mookie Betts is the Mookie Betts at second base, and the best version of this infield is Miguel Rojas at shortstop. So I love Miguel Rojas at shortstop. I love Mookie Betts at second, and any offense that you might be losing, you're actually gaining, because now you have Mookie Betts where you're not going to have Gavin Lux, most likely, based on where everything's pointing to. So yeah, I think that is going to put this team in a position to up the middle. You're going to want to have your best defense. I know everyone focuses on offense. Yes, you want dingers. Yes, if you want the dub, you got the slug. Wise man once said that. But defense also wins championships. And his defense at shortstop, it's not good. It's elite. It's great. It's phenomenal. And it can't be overstated. And that's something that could be an additive benefit for the Dodgers to have him at that shortstop spot. But we got our crew here. We got Mr. Tony Taters, had a big day yesterday with his birthday. Tony Taters, want to pop that producer cam up. We got, I don't see it on my screen, so I want to pop that up. There's Tony Taters in the mix. We got Noel Sanchez, Young Lotto, YL in the mix, rocking his very popular Mookie and Ohtani tee. The girls love that one in the comment section on DNIG. And then Mr. Noah Cameras. If you want to know everything about the Los Angeles Dodgers, I know a guy, and his name is Noah Cameras. Now, where we at, Noah, as far as the shortstop position? Because Bo Bichette is a name that I don't think, unless the Blue Jays get an offer that really blows them away, that they're going to want to trade for Bo Bichette. And if you trade Bo Bichette, you have to hope that the change of scenery works, that he gets back on track, and he was never a plus defender. Is that too big of a risk for you?
Yeah, for me, Bo Bichette is not the answer. First of all, everything we're reading,
it's no Bichette.
No Bichette for me. Everything we're reading, he's probably not going to get moved anyway. But he was never a plus defender. I mean, Mookie Betts obviously better offensively, and he's not a great defender either at shortstop right now. You can always get better. I'm totally in the boat where I think Miggy Rowe is the more full-time answer. I don't think they want him playing every single day. I mean, he's still playing at elite level, but you saw how elite he was off. Oh my goodness, we just got a big super chat. Whack'em sticks.
Whack'em sticks. My goodness, Whack'em sticks. I will give you my address and my Venmo, please. We got 100 big ones. Whack'em sticks is a first ballot Dodgers Dugout Live Hall of Famer. Let's pop it up here for all the bad injury luck we've had this year. It's nice to focus on some of the positives, and Miggy Rowe's resurgence has been a huge W for the Dodgers this year. By the way, you crushed that interview, Doug, and happy birthday to Tony Taters. Yeah, big HBD to Tony Taters. I mean, is that Mark Walters? I mean, honestly, is burner or something? I mean, Stephen Cohen's burner. But I mean, we appreciate you. Oh, Mr. Class just said that. Whack'em, are you Mark Walter? I mean, oh my God, we appreciate that. I mean, goodness gracious, man. That means a lot for sure. Dropping 100 big ones. And yeah, look, Miguel Rojas is someone that really brings an element to this team on the field, in the clubhouse, that really resonates. Teoscar, Kike being back, Miguel Rojas with Shohei Ohtani. I mean, the vibes, I don't think he wanted to kind of say anything about last year's team because he was on that team, quite frankly. But the vibes are night and day more immaculate this year than they were last year. And I think because of fresh blood, different characters, you got veterans, you got superstars, and I think that it's a factor for this team. There's that edge They're professional, but like you said, they know when to have fun and they know when it's time to put in work.
Yeah. The one thing I don't think the Dodgers ever get enough credit for is that Miggy Rowe trade and then like immediate contract extension. I remember at the time it was kind of like, why are they giving this backup?
At the time, Max Muncy was on this screen.
Yeah, literally, it happened literally right when you said. But like when they did the extension, it was like, why are they giving this backup infielder $5+ million a year? And all of a sudden, Miggy Rowe is a top 5 most valuable player on the team this year. And again, not like you said, not just on the field, but off the field too. So, I mean, that's just such an incredible addition they made, such a smart extension they made. He's now completely underpaid for what he's doing for this team, both last year when he stepped in as a starter, now this year where he's now elite again offensively. So, I mean, it's just amazing how the Dodgers kind of found that talent and the big impact he's made on the team. And it's amazing. Like he said, he told you he wants to retire as a Dodger. I mean, that is,
and be a manager one day. He was dropping nuggets,
day, which is really, really cool. That'll definitely be up later on dodgersnation.com.
You'll have more ejections than errors.
Yeah, I don't know why you gave him that one, but yeah, really, really cool stuff from him, and just such an amazing player that they decided to bring back, after starting his career in LA.
No, it's wild you bring that up. That the fact that he really is underpaid at this stage of his career, because
insane.
You move Jacob Amaya.
Yep.
A SoCal kid. A lot of people loved him in the organization. The question was, could he hit? Well, shortstops like Miguel Rojas, they play defense and just hit so they can play defense because they know that how it's viewed around the league. It's a premium position. Not a lot of guys can do it. And then you got that club option at $5 million. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring him on a bigger deal, kind of do what they did with Max Muncy and sign him on a multi-year contract.
He just said he wants to play 2 more years.
2 more years.
He wants to play 2 more years. He said he wants to play with the Dodgers. I can't imagine the Dodgers not wanting to bring him back for what he's done these last almost 2 years now. I mean,
he defies age. He truly defies age
for them to not bring him back.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. And
2 more years of Miggy.
It's crazy to be like, 35, but in baseball years, in shortstop years,
I mean,
you're basically in your 80s and 90s at that point, But I think the beautiful thing about Miguel Rojas is that he's basically a substitute teacher that filled in, but that substitute teacher was like a Harvard professor,
it's like
and he took the job permanently, right? And just having that luxury, that is what separates the Dodgers from other organizations. That's why you can still be a first place team, but still not have Mookie Betts and Max Muncy and Yamamoto and lose all these big players for a significant amount of time, because you have that kind of depth on the margins and guys that can fill in big spots that aren't just good players, but they're veteran players that know how to win. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Dodgers do beyond this year, because look, I planted my flag right when they moved. We were at McDonald's at the time. I was giving you guys the history of McDonald's.
You gave us a lot of history on McDonald's.
I did not like the idea of Mookie at shortstop. I never was on board with it, just because you are the guardian of the infield. It takes so much range and it takes a physical toll. One thing that Miguel Rojas said during the interview was, yeah, guess what? It does bleed into your offensive production because of how demanding that position is. And Mookie last year had 39 home runs. He had more WAR than the MVP winner, Ronald Acuna Jr., right? Would he have put up that same offensive season if you played shortstop wire to wire? I highly doubt he would have. You saw the frustration on his face. You heard him tell the media that's the hardest thing that he's ever done. So I don't think there's a world where Mookie Betts, who, by the way, is technically an all-star shortstop, is going to be the Dodgers' long-term shortstop. So then where do you go from there? Do you give Gavin Lux another opportunity after an offseason where maybe he can figure out the throw? He's in the 8th percentile in arm strength. Back a couple years ago, he was right there with Dansby Swanson as far as arm strength goes, and he was executing the throws. Do you kick that can down the road? Do you kick the tires on that and give that another chance? Or do you have Miguel Rojas as a full-time shortstop? Or do you try to sign a Willie Adames, a Hassan Kim? Do you maybe make an offseason trade for Bo Bichette? So there are going to be some offseason trade options, offseason signing options. But if you can trade, this is how I look at it. If you could trade for one of these outfielders, Randy Arozarena or Luis Robert Jr., some of these guys that are under multiple years of team control, you have your all-star level bat in the outfield. Then you re-sign Teoscar Hernandez, 4 years, $84 million. Go 5 if you want, but you got that core 5 intact with Teoscar in there. Then I think perfect world, Roki Sasaki. If it doesn't happen though,
you're dreaming right now.
This is my wish list.
You're going all the way.
This is Christmas in July.
I love it.
This is Christmas in July. Okay, Andrew, take the rest of the day off. I got you.
This is incredible.
Right? Then you trade for one of these starters under multiple years of team control. Either a Skubal, highly unlikely. Probably would have to take back Baez's deal and have him on the IL. I mean, he can't be your shortstop. Below average. He doesn't want it.
I'm kidding.
But or a crochet, and then you could pour money into your shortstop. So the last thing I want to do is go out there and spend 200 plus million on a starter. Go out there and pay a guy 150 plus million at another position. So if you could find a way to get that shortstop internally, that's what saves them the most money. It's just a very tough position to pour investments in and throw money at, just because once they hit 30, they age like 7-Eleven sushi, right? I mean, it just does not sustain itself. So it's going to be interesting. What do you think they're going to do in the offseason? I mean, just throwing it way out there.
Fun today. I mean, I am with you where I feel like if they kind of upgrade the other positions offensively, like your shortstop can be your 9-hole hitter. You know, you have one fewer at bat a game than everybody else. You have a bunch of fewer at bats a year.
DH in the NL.
It's almost like you have the DH, so Shohei's up batting 1 or 2. So, I mean, you kind of have the ability to have someone like Miguel Rojas have more at bats. And I mean, last year as a full-time shortstop from the beginning, he struggled offensively. This year, he had more time off. He was in and out, hitting really well. And now on a more full-time basis, he's hitting really well. So, you know, if you start with him as a full-time shortstop next year, you might have more of the offensive production from last year than this year, which, I mean, isn't ideal. But again, if you're upgrading your outfield already, you don't need your shortstop to be a 30 home run guy. I mean, that's not what the Dodgers need. So I'm with you where I think defense is more important shortstop. And yeah, I think it's one of those things where if they kind of find a trade where something falls into their lap, but I'm with you where I don't think you should go out and pay someone to play shortstop when you can get your offensive production elsewhere. And I think you should focus on the defense at shortstop.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is there's just not a lot of good free agent outfielders that make a ton of sense. I mean, Juan Soto's great. He's also going to cost $500 to $600 million.
I don't think he's leaving.
I mean, Yankees, Phillies, Mets, we'll see.
I think it's going to be one of the New York teams. So
we'll
save that for the dugout.
I did have someone contact me from Philly, insider, that says don't rule out the Phillies.
That'd be interesting.
So don't rule out the Phillies.
Bryce Harper,
the Trey Turner connection, the hitting coach Langford. He loves being in the East Coast, in the NL East,
this
particularly.
Is really good talk
that ballpark, the dugout, the all baseball show would definitely fit.
Quickly regarding Miguel, Mookie, and all that stuff. I know Bob Nightingale, who's been on your show recently and many times, has kind of mentioned in some of his like notebook articles that, you know, maybe the Dodgers would want Mookie Betts to go back to the outfield when he comes back because they kind of have maybe a need in right field. And they're, as of right now with Gavin Lux, there's not that opening at second base. Do you think that's at all a possibility that he would ever?
Absolutely. I mean, we saw last year with Jason Hayward in the platooning, right? I mean, when Jason Hayward, he was in games, it was against right-handed pitching, and you would mix it up with Mookie in right and at second base. I think now, though, to answer your question about that, now that Mookie knows what it's really like to have a grueling position in shortstop position, he was going to second because he thought right field was so taxing. Now he's probably like, yeah, right field ain't so bad after you played shortstop. So look, the truth of the matter is when it comes to defense, Mookie, if you look at some of his advanced metrics in right field, after the hip injury, kind of with the age, he's not moving like he was when he was winning Gold Gloves every single year as a 6-time Gold Glove Award winner. Can he still do that at an above average level? And he's got a hose and he can still be a asset defensively, right? Absolutely. I do think that when it comes to second base, it puts Mookie in the best position to say, what do you do best that helps this team? And that is be the table setter, be the catalyst on offense. And you do that by focusing on a position where you're on the dirt. You're not running back and forth from the outfield to the dugout a million times. You're not diving for plays to save no hitters. Yep. I mean, the effort to try to save Emmett Sheehan's a couple last year. So there's always those concerns in the outfield. And the bottom line is, I've said it on the show a couple different times, this is Ohtani's franchise. This is Mookie's team. And I would say it's really 1A and 1B about I get what I want on this franchise. And we know that Mookie gets what he wants. And I think Mookie has already made it probably pretty clear behind closed doors that, hey, I want to go back to second base. Okay, that was insane. Like you always say, that's insane. It's insane. Right? It's insane to have a guy, like I said, AA Lowell Spinners in 2012. That was the last time he had played professional shortstop. And you have a future Hall of Famer doing it at age 31 is heroic. Nothing short of heroic. And as Andrew Friedman told us in Korea, he's one of the most selfless teammates he's ever had to even do that, to attempt that. Most guys would be a quick nope, and that's it. They wouldn't ask him twice.
Well, you could be embarrassed. I mean, like, for him to go to that position, he easily could have been embarrassed, like, as a shortstop for the first time in, since, 10, 15 years? I mean, like, that, he could have embarrassed himself on a national stage. The fact that he didn't, I think, just speaks to how incredible of an athlete he is. And, yeah, I mean, he wasn't above average defender by any means, but the fact that he was even almost average, it just shows to, like you said, how insane it is. But, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of players wouldn't want to do that because, like, they might go there and look really bad, and now all of a sudden they're embarrassed on a national stage of not being able to play this position. So I think it's really amazing what he was able to do, but I'm with you. I think at the end of the day, he wants to be a second baseman. He wants to be on the dirt for the rest of his career. And while I think as currently constructed, it'd be better for Mookie Betts to be in right field on this Dodgers team, just with the more of a need in the outfield, and especially if they want to keep giving Gavin Lux chances, I do think, yeah, you're right, that whatever kind of Mookie wants is what he's going to get at this
Whatever
point.
Mookie wants, Mookie gets. And that's what's best for the team in all reality. We got Sammy Boy Smith, a $5 super chat. D-Mac, think of all the revenue we would get from all those Bo Bichette Dodgers bandanas. Look, those would be pretty fire, but I want a Teoscar Hernandez towel, okay? And you can use that as a bandana. Where do they sell those towels, okay? Getting out of the shower today, and I was thinking, man, where's my Teoscar?
That's kind of a weird thing to think
towel?
about.
What? Why is that? Okay, well, I mean, what else? Okay, go to the beach. I'll go to the beach. I burn. I get sunsick.
You do.
Okay, so you got Ray V. Guzman Jr. I love Rojas. He has really turned his hitting around. I feel very comfortable when he's playing shortstop. He also has a lot of experience, and that will help us all in the playoffs. That's the best word, I think, to describe Rojas at shortstop. He makes you feel comfortable, right? For me, it's like when you put on you don't have to go bowling, and then you take off your bowling shoes and you put on your Jordans or your Vans or your Air Force Ones, and how comfortable that feels. That's Miguel Rojas playing shortstop, right?
Yeah.
When it's not good, it's like driving behind a driver that says student driver behind it, and you're all freaked out, not very comfortable. Like, I mean, those are my two. That's my comfort scale.
It's kind of like putting on your mid-tier jacket.
My mid-tier jacket.
Very comfortable.
But $1 million question today, though. We got to hit a couple topics before we head out of here. We're at 54 minutes, actually, so we'll probably head out of here really soon. We'll talk about Javier Baez. And should the Dodgers do that? I will say, in short, this team, if it's printing money, they're making money hand over fist. How many times you log into Twitter, you see another Japanese sponsor for Shohei. They can afford to absorb Javi Baez's contract and him never play. Luau dang him if you need to, right? And if it comes with Tariq Skubal and you keep those prospects, I'm on board.
Well, the question is, how much do you think Baez would kind of lower the cost of Scoob? Like, do you
tremendously.
Think,
for an organization like Detroit,
top 10 prospect. Like,
I mean,
he's
he's paid like more than their entire team, essentially. And that's a team that, if you are going to trade Skubal, who's under team control for 2 more seasons, that tells you that you don't think you're going to win for the next 2 years.
Well,
so that's a down to the studs.
They're for sure not going to
probably not, but they're not where the White Sox are
for sure.
at the very least. So
AL Central's really good.
It is the AL Central,
really good division this year.
And I just think if you're the Tigers, I mean, you could really sell high on Skubal. And if you're the Dodgers, it's not even the prospect cost really for the Dodgers. It's the fact that they actually don't necessarily have the prospects to get Skubal if the Orioles come to the table. Sure. The Orioles got 2 top 15 prospects. Holiday, I mean, if you bring
the Orioles need pitchers as much as the Dodgers. They have 3 2 underwent Tommy John. I think a third one's on the 60. I mean, they need pitchers just as much as the Dodgers. So
if they're all in,
Skubal will be a very scary 1-2 in the playoffs.
And absolutely, and they would want someone with team control. So Javi Baez, if it means Skubal at this year, 100%, especially if they're unable to land Crochet.
I would say the only difference, I don't know if the Orioles would take on Baez because they're not the same.
No, absolutely not.
So,
it would be
so that would give the Dodgers the edge because they would be open to taking on Baez and literally not playing him.
Yeah, the conversation with the Orioles and the Tigers is, we're not trading Skubal, but if you want to give us Jackson Holiday, right?
How many top 5?
If you want to give us Kobe Mayo and their top guys, then maybe we can start this conversation. And then the Orioles going back to the factory, and then they
just print out another
one, exactly, and he becomes a top 10 prospect. But it's going to be interesting. And then we'll talk more tomorrow. We have John Morosi, MLB insider. We'll ask him about Tariq Skubal and other Dodgers rumors. But let me know down below in the comments section, who do you want to see as the Dodgers shortstop when Mookie Betts gets back? Are you comfortable with Miguel Rojas, even if the offense slips just a little bit? Let me know down below in the comment section. I think there's a world where he can play great shortstop and still maintain his bat because, like you said, he is healthy and he's locked in. Some years you're just locked in, really are. But some comments here before we get out of here. We got the day Miggy retires, I pray Dodgers make him a head coach. I know some of you guys would take anyone over Dave Roberts. So look, Dave Roberts is going to win a couple championships, and then maybe Miguel Rojas a little later. We got Baez is bad for Mr. Classic. It's not that he would play shortstop. I want everyone to know this. Saying you're going to trade for Baez does not mean he will play shortstop. I mean, maybe some change of scenery, but he's a below average defensive shortstop and one of the worst bats in the league. So that's how it is for that. But D-Mac, I'd trade my sister for Skubal. That's from Joe Harrington. So some good comments in here, and we'll focus on those a little more tomorrow. But join us tomorrow for Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. You got Noah Cameras, Young Lotto. You got Tony Taters. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. hit that Mickey Rowe World Series MVP. It's a comment of the show from Kelly Oshiro. Got to give you some love for that one. We got, lots of good takes down below. Take Baez for Skubal. Yeah, it'll be a hot debate tomorrow, but comment Go Ohtani down below. Subscribe to the channel. And remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue.